next dish, I have a story to tell you all. I invented this dish one April several years ago when I was really poor. I was really running out of money and I hardly had any food left, and I was just eating out of my pantry trying to save as much money as I possibly could. And I was at this point where I had like a lot of long grain rice, because if you're poor, long grain white rice is one of the best things you can get for yourself. It's very cheap and rather nutritious. And I had a little vegetable oil, and I had some red pepper flakes that was left over from someone getting a pizza at some point. And then I also found a couple Meyer lemons from someone's front yard. And I decided, hey, I'm going to make a dish with these things. And this dish was born, and it is so good that I make it to this day. Even though I am no longer impoverished, I still do like to keep myself on a budget when it comes to food, just to keep myself in check. And I often will end up making this dish towards the end of the month when I'm running low on funds. Very easy. You start off with a large nonstick skillet, crank it up to about high, medium high, and you just want about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of oil in your pan. Incidentally, this makes a good side dish. Like if you're not poor, go ahead and have a salad or like a piece of grilled fish on the side of this side dish. We'll come back when that heats through. And a minute later, so the oil is almost to temperature. This is leftover long grain rice. It's actually organic jasmine rice. But go ahead and use cheap stuff if you want. It's a cup of raw rice that I've cooked with 1.5 cups of water. If you saw my award-winning recipe for Japanese curry, you'll know how I make rice, which is the superior way. I'm going to use about half of this recipe of cooked rice. And it's actually better if it's genuinely leftover and if you've had it uncovered and let it dry out a little bit. Pan's pretty good now. You just want to break up the rice at this point. Make sure that the kernels get enough oil time. If you saw my award-winning episode that had fried rice in it, this is pretty much the same thing, just less fancy. Add salt. This is Himalayan pink sea salt. And red pepper flakes. You want to keep this sauteing and moving around in the pan for another couple minutes. Probably difficult to see from the camera, but it's picked up a very faint brownish color, and I think that that's actually from the pepper flakes, not from any actual browning. But it definitely doesn't have a white look to it anymore. And it's starting to clump a little bit and stick together, which is actually something you want. At this point, I'm going to add my lemon. How much or how little you add is really up to you. I like a lot. This is a little bit of one leftover lemon, and most of half of another lemon. Just saute this a little bit until some of the moisture from the lemons evaporate, about 30 seconds. Then you can turn off the heat. And behold, its impoverished yet delicious goodness. As I said earlier, if you actually have more money, by all means have a salad or a piece of fish or chicken with this. But I'm going to be true to the original spirit of the recipe and just have it plain with a glass of milk. Because no matter how impoverished I was in the past, I always got myself milk.